Hi everyone, this is your girl Jazzy from the Love and Fashion Media team, and I'm here tonight in Washington Heights, New York with Jerry Castaños, the founder and owner of the 3D printing company 3D Heights. How you doing tonight, Jerry?
I'm doing great, Jazzy.
Let everyone know about you and 3D Heights.
All right. Well, I was born in the neighborhood in Washington Heights. My parents are Dominican American. We grew up here about 30 years already in the neighborhood. After having some time here, I went over to join the military. And my background is logistics, supply chain management. But I've always been a techie at heart. I love technology, and that's what brought me into 3D printing, the love of technology and the advancements that technology is doing. In our time when we were growing up, it was digital, but now with 3D printing, it's physical.
So, how long has 3D Heights been in business?
So we opened up December 2013, so about a month.
Wow, a month.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What inspires you to get involved in 3D printing?
Really, that background in logistics and supply chain management that I spoke about earlier, having a 3D printer in your home or in your business, it's essentially having a factory work for you. A 3D printer could almost create anything that you send to it, any physical design, whether it's a tool, whether it's a home care appliance, made out of plastic, or is it a toy or a model of a building if you're doing architecture, or if you're studying science and you want to see a molecule, a 3D printer has the capability of doing that. So it could save you money, and it could also make you money if you're a designer and creative.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. So, did you go to school to learn about 3D printing?
My background is business and administration, right? What you learn in business and in the military is that you want to create a strong, cohesive team and bring them together, as subject matter experts to help you move forward. So that's what I think we do here.
Awesome. That sounds great. 3D printing is really interesting. I definitely, looking in my research and meeting with you, this is like inspiring for me to know about it. You know what I mean? I see all these little items that you have here. I can't believe that these items came from your printers, which is awesome. So what is the 3D Heights' ideal customer?
Well, we don't have an ideal customer per se. Everyone is an ideal customer, meaning you could have kids come from school, whether high school or elementary, and say, you know what, I've seen this animation and I want to do it myself. Can I make it here? And they'll give us the 3D design and we'll make it. But what we have a lot, repeat customers are the people who are inventors and prototypers who have ideas to create something new and put it in the market. Well, if you do it the traditional way of manufacturing, you have to send it to China. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars and you have to do runs of 100,000 or so.
That's long distance.
Yeah, and it's long distance. So you keep compounding cost. Okay. But with a 3D printer, you could prototype it, look at it, and have a short run to test the market. Wow.
That sounds really interesting. These 3D printers, can you purchase them like anywhere, or you would have to come to your store if you needed something done?
Well, we would prefer you come out to our store.
That was a bad answer. That was a bad question, I should say. Sorry.
No, but we also have an online presence. So 3D printer at the moment doesn't really have a physical location. Okay. They have 1 or 2 stores in New York. We're about the 3rd store that opened up now. So really, you're only going to get exposure on what you see on the television or through online videos. That's another reason why we opened up the physical store, so you could come see the equipment, see the material, and really know how it functions.
That makes a lot of sense. Going back to what you just said about, can children really, or I should say teenagers, preteens, really come in here and there's no age limit, or 18 and over, I should say?
Well, for example, let's take the printer printing in the back, the Cube. It's made for 8 and up. The software is easy to use, it's kid-friendly, it's not difficult at all, and you could download, the same way you'll download a document, you could download a digital 3D file and send it to a printer.
For free?
For free.
Because people like free.
Oh, free is great. We like open source. We like that whole community because
awesome.
There shouldn't be a reason why you pay, arm and a leg to get a simple file.
That's awesome. How long does it take for something to get printed?
It depends on the file. So something small could be 15 minutes. Something large could be 72 hours. But the great thing is the machines work overnight. So that's not an issue. No one has to be there to look at it, right? We could set it and pretty much forget it.
Wow. Set it and forget it. There you go. Okay. So, how long has 3D printing been around?
3D printing itself, additive manufacturing as it's known, it's been around for about 30 years. So it has some time. But recently patents have been expiring where it's opened up a new consumer level where you could have it at the home or at the small business.
So you can purchase a 3D printer and have it at home.
Right. Now you could have one at home, which estimated could save you $300 to $2,000. Yeah. So
You know it's about money.
yeah, no, I mean it's an important factor. You could either save money or you could start your own small business creating items to make money.
Okay. So would you say that 3D printing is affordable?
Yeah, there's tons of 3D printers out in the market. And again, we start at $800. So it's not too bad for a machine that could physically create anything you want.
Anything.
Well, to an extent, you can't create.
You got to be careful when you say anything.
Okay. I got you. No, anything at the moment, right?
Okay.
Because as they get better, more features and options occur.
Okay, so what is the one item or type of material or, that a customer comes in for?
Well, the biggest request we have so far is replicas of people. So you'll see this, and this is an example of someone who's pregnant, and that's capturing the moment.
That's really her?
That's her. That's a 3D scan that we did in the store. So that's more than just than a two-dimensional picture.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, and anyone could take a picture with their camera. But now you have a physical model that you can hold on to and say, this is how I physically looked like, which is a bit more of an impact.
She can give this to her child when her child is born and they can pass it on, and I think that is totally awesome.
It's an heirloom now that could be passed down in generations. Yeah.
That means so much more than just a regular picture. What are the different types of methods of 3D printing?
Well, the primary method that you see now and that we carry is fused deposition modeling.
Explain a little bit of that.
It sounds complicated, but it's very simple.
Really?
It's extremely. If anyone ever worked with a hot glue gun, you put the stick of glue and it melts the glue. So knowing that, now you add a computer and you tell it where to drop the glue.
Really?
Right? Except you replace the glue and put plastic. So it melts the plastic to liquid, and then it builds up layer by layer the way you see it in the back.
Wow, that is just so awesome. I'm like ready to do this at home. No, I'm going to come here and get all my stuff done. So should you guys. So what types of software is needed for 3D printing?
So you need 3D software, 3D modeling software. And there's tons of open source stuff out there. There's Tinkercad, Sculptress, Blender, and all that stuff you just download. You don't have to pay for it. It's part of that whole open source community where you could just use it.
Okay. That sounds awesome. I mean, they just go home, they download, they design what they need, and then they come here. Now, what if they didn't want to do all of that, a customer, I should say, didn't want to do all of that, and they just wanted you to do everything, design, do everything. Do they have to pay more for it?
Yes, design does cost more. Just like if you're designing anything in 2 dimensions, it's time consuming, it's a process. It has to be created in 3D space, which is more complicated than just 2-dimensional.
Is the software easy to find online, or can you find it in the store?
Well, it's easy to find online. You don't see a lot of 3D modeling softwares in physical stores, but everything is online.
Okay.
So
when a product is made in a 3D printer, what are the different types of materials that you guys can make it out of?
we use hard plastics, ABS, PLA. ABS is the stuff Legos is made out of. And then we have a rubberized plastic also. I mean, there's tons of different characteristics to the plastic. And we also have a paper 3D printer, which creates a mesh-like item. And it gives
I was going to ask, do you have anything you can show us here?
It gives a photorealistic
Oh,
look.
that looks like a real banana.
Right.
I'm ready to eat it. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, the way it comes out the printer is just like this.
How big or small can a 3D printer print an item or product?
Well, they're getting bigger and they're getting smaller, believe it or not. They're printing now to the micro level. And they're printing as big as a house using concrete. For the home level, though, you'll get anything about 5 by 5 by 5 all the way up to 12 by 12 by 12, 1 foot. And it could get bigger from there. It depends on your need and what you're looking for.
I've seen that you guys offer classes. What kind of classes do you offer for customers?
So we offer intro classes, intro to 3D printing, intro to 3D designing, scanning, investing in 3D printing, and also we offer how to start your own 3D printing business.
Wow, that's awesome. So do you think that I mean, it's obviously an advantage, but what advantage does the customer get by taking these classes?
Well, the biggest advantage is that, A, the customer could come and physically use the equipment.
Wow.
Right.
So it's hands-on.
It's hands-on. And that's because you're dealing with physical objects. It should be hands-on. It's hard to learn about 3D printing if you don't have a 3D printer.
Computers, I mean, what really isn't my forte, so I understand. I really need you to like show me hand by hand, finger by finger, and that's what I need you to do.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. And on top of that, because you're joining other people who are either advanced level than you or lower level than you, you get to really interact and exchange ideas because you're doing it in a group environment.
And it's fun, right?
And it's fun. It's
There you
enjoyable.
go. Are these classes offered to anyone and everyone? It doesn't have to be someone who's in a business or teacher or anything like that.
No, they're intro classes,
Okay.
so it's open to the public.
So, Jerry, now that we have the idea of the different types of materials that you can make a product out for us, can we make them in different colors or no?
No, definitely. You can make it in different colors. It would just be a different type of printer. You won't be able to do it on the desktop printers, but you could do it with a professional printer. So this is an example of,
May I?
because like I said, I'm a Trekkie, so that's an example of some of the prints I've made.
This is really awesome, by the way. Guys, okay.
And it works for all types of different purposes. For example, if you're getting married, you could put yourself on top of the wedding cake.
That makes sense.
yeah,
That is so cool.
So you can have the groom and the bride, her and her wedding
Look
dress.
exactly like them.
Exactly, right. So it won't just be, it won't be just a generic model on there. It'll be actual people.
Are the colors limited or any color?
It's not limited. It's any color. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that leads me to the most important question of the night. How does 3D printing actually work? What are the steps? What's the process?
When this home version, the desktop version, it's a very simple process. You have a plastic filament, so it's a plastic string.
Okay.
It feeds through the machine, it heats it up till it melts, and then the machine puts one layer down, and then as that cools, another layer goes down on top of it, slowly building up layer by layer.
So is that what this machine is doing right here?
Right, that's exactly what that machine is doing right there. It's building up layer by layer. So a print could take, like I mentioned earlier, 10 minutes, or it could take several hours,
Okay.
depending how big and how complex the model is. The finished version of that will come out like this.
Wow.
And it's a castle with staircases going down and a DNA helix in the middle of it. So if you were miniature, you'll be able to walk up the staircases and have a beautiful design on the inside.
That's great. So, I mean, I'm looking at this, like, literally looking at it, and it looks like it's not doing anything at all, but it actually is.
Yeah, because it's doing it at such a small level to
Okay.
capture all the details and have such a great resolution
Okay.
that it's like watching grass grow.
Or watching paint dry, right?
Right.
Oh, but it's just so amazing how this is gonna turn into that. I can't see it, but I definitely know that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, definitely.
So, is 3D printing helpful to the environment or is it harmful to the environment? For example, is it biodegradable?
Yeah, PLA plastic is biodegradable. ABS is recyclable. And I believe it's a lot more helpful because the traditional way of creating items is having a block of, in this case, plastic, and then cutting away at that block. So you have a lot more waste. And let's say the items don't sell or nobody picks it up, then you just end up throwing it away. Well, with 3D printing, you're creating, so you're building up. So you only create what you need. So there's tons of ways to save there and save the environment.
That makes a lot of sense. It's exactly what you're getting. You're not getting anything less or more. I understand. So, do you ever have any issues with patent items or products? Like, let's say someone wants to come in and a Nike shoe, because that's our actual company. Do you have any issues with that?
No, we don't. We don't sell any patent and trademarked items.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so you've never had any issues with that? Because I know people, they try, when you tell someone that you can actually build something right now, tomorrow, next week, they'll bring in anything. So that's why I ask.
No, and like I said earlier, it's a prototype. So if
Okay.
you do build it, it's just a model so you can see.
Okay.
Yeah. So we won't do it, but you could definitely do it.
Oh, so I can do it at home. That's so bad. That is so wrong. But we don't want to do that. We want to do it the right way, guys. So make sure you guys come here to 3D Heights and check that out. So In the process of doing my research, I've learned that there is a material called bio ink that actually uses DNA to rebuild tissues and organs. Is this true?
That's very true. There's several different places working on it, mostly universities like Wake Forest. I think NYU is also doing work with it on some level. And there's also a company out of San Diego. They're creating hearts, livers, and kidneys.
Hearts, livers, and kidneys? That is amazing. That is like, people don't have to wait for these things anymore. That's great. How long do you think this is going to come about in availability about the organs? How long do you think it's going to take for us to get to that time?
Well, depending on red tape, and FDA approval and all that, I could see something coming out to the market within the next 5 years.
I heard something about a liver that's almost ready to be put out there.
Yeah, no, by the end of this year, they should have a liver in some type of human testing or clinical trials.
Wow, that is so amazing. Like, I am just astounded right now, and I'm happy, really, really happy. People don't have to wait for these things anymore. And sometimes these people die, and now they can just use their own DNA and they get their liver, get their heart, and be fixed. That's awesome. Where do you see 3D Heights in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, we're definitely looking to expand in 5 to 10 years. Our plan is to hopefully grow into an incubator space, into a maker space, have a lot more people join the community in the push to really expand technology within the Washington Heights community, uptown Manhattan. So that's our projection for the future.
That sounds great. Well, on behalf of the Love and Fashion Media team, Jerry, we really thank you so much for taking the time out to teaching us about your business and about 3D printing. Let everybody know where they can come visit you, because they need to come get their stuff done. I mean, this is awesome, amazing. You guys see it here.
Oh, thanks. We're here located on 4084 Broadway, between 172nd and 173rd, uptown Manhattan.
Awesome. Well, make sure you guys check us out on www.loveandfashion.org for more updates on talent shows, fashion shows, and anything else that's coming up in the near future. This is your girl, Jazzy. Good night.
Night.
Tell me what you see when you looking at me. You wanna know how I rose up mysteriously? Did I stutter? I declared this is one for the taking. I didn't lie when I said I'm a star in the making. So I'm writing these rhymes. Up, y'all still asleep. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Putting bars to these beats. They said she did it again. I really came here to win. About time I let y'all realize I'm ill with the pen. So you say I'm a girl, so you can't be a fan. I think it's time I turn you boys into men. Just accept who I am. Nobody hear what you saying. I'ma live by the code. Better respect why I came here. What you know about me? About who I is. About the money that I make, about the place that I live, about the car that I drive, or about my clique. I suggest you stay far out of my bed. If you wanna Google my name, Minnie DN on your screen. I become your obsession like a magazine. Click the Facebook like, hit me up on the Twitter. You coming out to the shows, me autographing your pictures. Getting rich off of music, hardly care about the fame. You be the first to remind me how much I done changed. Heard you ask for me, the answer still the same. I won't give you my number, just hit me up on the gram.